doesn't celebrate your achievements or make you feel better, make you feel like you deserve happiness, then they are not your friend. Sorry, honey, but they are not. I could not go to sleep without popping 2 of those pills in my mouth. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Nadia. I wanted my channel to focus on loving yourself, being healthy not only physically but mentally, and how to cope with things in your life that might hinder you from reaching your goals. So in the past, I've talked about depression, and today I want to talk about anxiety. Believe it or not, anxiety is something that almost half the population deals with. Most people don't know that they have anxiety, as there are different forms and levels of anxiety. Usually when you're going through anxiety or an anxiety attack, your hands start shaking, you start sweating, and you feel like you can't breathe. You're facing hypervigilance, you're irritable, lack of concentration, randomly tired out of nowhere, and you feel like you can't breathe. Other symptoms of anxiety, which I've dealt with before, is insomnia. Insomnia is something that can be so detrimental to a happy life because sleep is so important, and anxiety is a factor that leads to insomnia. So I wanted this video to be focused on tips and tricks to relieve and reduce stress and anxiety. I want to say I'm not a professional therapist, I'm not a professional in any sort, but these are just things that have helped me in the past deal with anxiety. I usually get anxious at my job. I even get anxious at school sometimes. I practice these things I'm about to tell you now, and it really has helped with my anxiety. So the first thing I do every day, and I know this sounds super cheesy, but I wake up every day being grateful. I practice a state of mindfulness, which is when you are present in the now and you think about what's going on in the present, not in the future and not in the past. Practicing mindfulness is something that most people don't understand or don't take the time to do. They don't understand the importance of it. Everyone is in a rush, especially in New York where I live. Everyone is in a rush. Everyone is in a competition with each other. No one just takes the time to sit where they are. So people usually meditate when they try to get their mind to be at a still and they try to focus on one thing. I've tried meditation. I'm not the best at it because, again, I am very anxious most of the time. The times that I do meditate, I do feel a lot better. I don't always have time to meditate, but in the morning when I don't have work, I like to just breathe in and out, close my eyes, just practice mindfulness, be in the now, and not think about the future or the past. A lot of nights I stay awake thinking about what my future is going to be, and I think about my past and how I could take back some things I did. But the practice of mindfulness really helps you ground yourself. It helps you realize that whatever happened, and whatever is going to happen in the future is all up to you. To move forward, you have to be mindful. You have to know who you are in the present, and you have to take the time to know that everything will be okay. Again, I know this sounds so cheesy, but just practicing that, breathing in and out, closing your eyes, imagining yourself in your happy place, a beach, near the palm trees, anywhere you want, it really, really helps. And if you deal with anxiety, just try it. Just when you are alone in your room, just close your eyes, imagine yourself in your happy place. The second tip I have to reduce stress and anxiety is exercise. So I don't want to be a hypocrite because I honestly don't go to the gym that often. I've been trying, but with my busy schedule, it's so hard. So I'm hoping when I move out, which will probably be in the next year or so, my apartment building will have a gym. I love dancing. I feel like it reduces my anxiety so much. I really start listening to music and moving my body. I just automatically feel better. Exercise really does release endorphins, which are supposed to make you feel better. Okay, so another tip that I promote to reduce anxiety is taking specific vitamins and supplements. So something that I love that really helps with my anxiety is green tea. I'm literally drinking green tea right now because it just warms up your body, and I don't know, there's just something about it that makes me feel so relieved. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I either get green tea or I get hot water with lemon. There's just something about hot water and lemon and green tea that really soothes me. Green tea does have ingredients in it that help you relieve stress. So that's something I do recommend if you are a tea person. Also, it helps you digest your food, it helps you lose weight if that is something you're interested in as well. Something I also recommend is omega-3 fatty acids. You can get these supplements at Walgreens, Duane Reade, CVS. I also read that they help in reducing anxiety. When you're going through a lot of insomnia, that can actually help with that. Instead of taking sleeping pills, try to take melatonin because it's the natural ingredient that can help you fall asleep. Not gonna lie, I was guilty. I was addicted, hardcore addicted to sleeping pills a few years ago. Like, I could not go to sleep without popping 2 of those pills in my mouth. Something else that I'm obsessed with that helps me reduce my anxiety are candles. Duh. Okay, if you don't like candles, I just don't understand why you just wouldn't like candles. Because as soon as I light a lavender as soon as I light a lavender candle in my room, I swear it feels like someone lifted a burden off my shoulders. You really need to focus on your me time. I really recommend taking a hot shower, or if you have a nice bathtub, taking a bubble bath, sipping a glass of wine, lighting a candle, doing that at least once or twice a week because that can relieve so much stress. Something else that really helps me cope with anxiety is journaling. I've always been someone that likes to write down her thoughts. I have 2 or 3 journals that are filled with really depressing things I used to write, which I hope no one ever finds them. If you're a person that's into writing or having your thoughts being put there in the universe, and I would start keeping a journal. Write down your daily thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations. I do believe that once you write something down, you're sort of putting it into existence. If you do believe in the law of attraction, then you know what I mean. The next thing that helps me with anxiety, which is a weird thing and I'm not sure why it does, is chewing gum. Ask anyone, I will go through a pack of gum in one day. It's like they're my cigarettes for some reason. I just love chewing gum. It really relieves a lot of stress that I have. Whenever I would take hard exams or quizzes in school, I would always be chewing gum during the exam. I don't know why, it just always helps me get good grades. I remember every time I took the SATs, I had a packet of gum with me, and yeah, it definitely helped me get a good grade. Another important thing that helps me with anxiety is learning how to say no. Now, I used to always be a person that wanted to be involved in everything. I had a major case of FOMO, and I did not know how to say no. If someone asked me to hang out, I would feel bad about not hanging out with them, and I would say yes every time. If someone asked me for a favor, I'd say yes. Learning how to say no was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, just because of the way I was brought up, the way that I grew up. I was always a people pleaser. Learning how to say no was and still is extremely difficult for me, but just getting yourself out of certain situations, out of certain responsibilities that you shouldn't have to be responsible for, that is definitely a stress reliever. You just owe yourself your happiness and your mental health. That's really, at the end of the day, it's all about you. Something else that helps with relieving anxiety is spending time with friends and family. And I know I just said learn how to say no, but it is important to have a balance. At least see your friends once a week. If you're busy with school and work, it's really important to see the people that love you and you love at least once a week. Get dinner with someone, go out, walk in the park, go to the beach. Depending on where you live and what there is to do, it is so important to be around people that support you. Which brings me to another tip for anxiety. Don't be around toxic people. Get out, sis. Do not hang around people that constantly bring you down, that are constantly partying, getting you drunk, getting drunk, doing drugs. I don't know what it is, but do not be around toxic behaviors, because toxic people will take advantage of you. They'll find ways to pressure you and guilt you into doing things you don't want to do. So my tip is find good people. Find people that don't need materialistic things. Find people that don't need those things to be your friend, and find people that being around bad people, being around toxic, selfish people is the #1 stressor for anxiety. I cannot stress that enough, speaking from personal experience, that Jealous, toxic people are not the right people to be around. My last advice and tip for reducing anxiety is get a pet. I'm being 100% serious right now. I adopted my puppy, Mila. Well, now she's a woman. Now she's a dog. But I adopted her 3 years ago, and she's my best friend. I grew up an only child, and I've always been lonely, and no shame in saying that. Ever since I got her, I feel like she's my little sister, she's my daughter, and even my mom loves having her around. If you are always stressed and you feel lonely and you just want a companion, I highly recommend getting a dog, a cat. I don't know what you guys are into, but getting a pet can really help cope with feeling anxious and stressed. The main point is that there are so many things you can do to relieve stress. I think the most important thing is just to believe in yourself and to know that you will be in a better place no matter what. Practice the mindfulness of how grateful you are to have the things you have in the present. I don't care what you have and what you don't have. You have to be grateful for something. You have to be grateful to be living, for your health, for your family, for having a roof over your shoulders, for having a car to drive. For any of these small things, there is something to be grateful for. Anyways guys, I'm going to end this video here. I really did enjoy talking about this because I really want my channel to be focused on self-help and beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. But I love talking about this. I really want to help people. So be sure to give your girl a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and click the bell to be notified for whenever I post. Leave some comments down below of what videos you want me to film next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.